Most men think a kiss is just a moment, but to her, it's a message. And if you don't understand what that message is saying, you can turn attraction into discomfort in seconds, without even realizing it. Here's the truth no one explains to you. It's not where you kiss first, it's how aware you are of the moment before you do it. Because a kiss is not physical first, it's psychological. Before your lips even get close, her mind has already decided how that moment will feel. Safe or pressured, natural or forced, memorable or forgettable. And most men completely miss this because they're focused on the action instead of the emotional buildup. You see, attraction doesn't peak at the kiss. It peaks right before it happens. That quiet tension, that eye contact that lasts just a second longer than usual, that subtle shift in energy where everything slows down, that's where the real connection lives. But most men rush it. They skip the buildup, ignore the signals, and go straight for the result. And in doing that, they lose the very thing that makes a kiss powerful: emotional alignment. Now let me guide you through something deeper. When a woman enjoys being kissed, it's not just about physical sensation. It's about what that kiss represents in that moment. Does it feel intentional? Does it feel connected? Does it match the energy that's already there? Or does it feel like you're trying to take something that hasn't been naturally given yet? That difference is everything. And here's where most men get it wrong. They treat all moments the same. They think if there's attraction, the timing doesn't matter. They think if she's smiling, it's always the right moment. They think confidence means acting quickly. But real confidence is reading the moment and moving with it, not ahead of it. Because when you move too fast, you break the rhythm. And when you break the rhythm, you break the connection. Now understand this clearly. A kiss should feel like a continuation, not an interruption. It should feel like the natural next step of a shared moment, not something that suddenly appears out of nowhere. And that only happens when you're paying attention. Paying attention to her body language, her eye contact, her proximity, her energy. Is she leaning in slightly? Is she holding eye contact a little longer? Is there a softness in her expression? These are not random details. These are signals. And when you ignore them, you're not being bold. You're being unaware. Now let's talk about emotional comfort. This is the foundation of everything. If she doesn't feel comfortable, no technique will fix that. No perfect timing, no perfect place, no perfect move. Comfort comes from how you've shown up before that moment. Did you listen? Did you stay present? Did you create a relaxed, natural interaction? Or did you try too hard to impress, control, or rush things forward? Because the kiss is not separate from the interaction. It's a reflection of it. And here's the part most men never hear. Women don't remember the kiss itself as much as they remember how it made them feel about you. Did it feel calm? Did it feel intentional? Did it feel like you understood the moment? Or did it feel rushed, uncertain, or slightly off? That feeling becomes the memory. Now let's clear something important. This is not about perfection. You don't need to be flawless. You don't need to get it right every time. But you do need awareness. Awareness of timing. Awareness of energy. Awareness of her response. Not just your intention. Because attraction is not built on what you want to happen. It's built on what both of you are feeling in that moment. And when those two things align, a simple kiss becomes something much deeper. Something that stays with her, not because it was intense or dramatic, but because it felt right. So before you even think about where to kiss, ask yourself this: are you paying attention to the moment, or are you just trying to reach it? Because one creates connection, the other creates distance. Now that you understand the moment matters more than the move, let's talk about something most men completely misunderstand. Placement is not about intensity, it's about emotional meaning. Where you kiss her sends a message, and if that message doesn't match the moment, even the right action can feel wrong. The first place is the forehead. Most men overlook this completely because they think it's too soft, too simple, not attractive enough. But that's exactly why it works. A forehead kiss is not about desire first. It's about emotional safety and care. When done at the right time, it communicates something deeper than words. I respect you. I'm present with you. I'm not rushing anything. And that feeling lowers her guard. It creates comfort. It builds trust without pressure. Now understand this clearly. This only works when the moment supports it. If there's already a calm, connected energy between you, if the conversation has slowed down, if there's a sense of closeness that feels natural, this is where a forehead kiss lands perfectly. But if you force it, if you do it randomly without emotional context, it loses meaning. Because again, it's not about the action, it's about alignment with the moment. And when it's aligned, it creates something powerful. She feels safe, but also curious. Because you didn't rush. You didn't take the obvious step. You showed restraint. And restraint, when natural, is incredibly attractive. Now let's move to the second place, the cheek. Simple, classic, and often misunderstood. Most men treat a cheek kiss as either too friendly or insignificant, but in reality, it sits in a very specific psychological space. It's the bridge between comfort and attraction. A cheek kiss can carry warmth, playfulness, and subtle intention, all at once. It says, I'm comfortable with you. I'm close enough to you, but I'm not forcing anything further. And that balance matters, because attraction doesn't grow when everything is pushed forward too quickly. It grows when there's a natural progression. The cheek is that progression. Now here's where most men go wrong. They either hesitate too much or act too fast. They either overthink the moment and miss it, or they jump ahead and skip the emotional buildup. But when you use a cheek kiss at the right time, maybe during a greeting, a goodbye, or a light moment, it creates familiarity without pressure. It builds comfort while still leaving space for curiosity. And that space is where attraction continues to develop. Now let's go deeper into what's actually happening psychologically. When you kiss her forehead or cheek in the right moment, you're not just creating a physical interaction, you're shaping her emotional experience of you and I. You're showing that you can be close without being overwhelming. You can express interest without rushing. You can create connection without forcing intensity. And that combination is rare because most men operate in extremes. They're either too passive, never making a move, staying stuck in hesitation, or too aggressive, moving too fast, creating pressure instead of connection. But the middle ground, the place where you move with awareness, timing, and emotional alignment, that's where attraction actually builds. Now here's something most men don't realize. Women don't just remember what you did, they remember how naturally it happened. Did it feel smooth? Did it feel calm? Did it feel like it just made sense? Or did it feel forced, sudden, slightly off? That feeling becomes the memory. So when you think about these first two places, the forehead and the cheek, don't think of them as moves. Think of them as expressions of awareness. They show that you're paying attention. They show that you're not rushing. They show that you understand the moment. And that understanding creates something deeper than attraction. It creates trust. And trust is what allows attraction to grow without resistance. Now ask yourself honestly, in the past, have you been moving too fast or holding back too much? Because both can break the natural flow. Now that we've covered the forehead and the cheek, the places that create comfort and subtle connection, it's time to move into the next two areas that take the kiss from safe and nurturing into intimate and memorable. The third place is the neck. This is where most men panic. They either skip it entirely out of fear or they rush it and create tension. But the neck is incredibly sensitive, and when kissed with awareness, it signals desire without pressure. Here's the psychology behind it. The neck is vulnerable, it's exposed, and women instinctively understand that not everyone gets to this space unless there's trust. A kiss here communicates, I'm confident enough to be close. I respect your boundaries, but I also feel attraction. I'm tuned into your comfort and your reactions. It's not about being aggressive, it's about awareness, and timing. Most men treat the neck as a shortcut to physical escalation. They rush, they ignore signals, they assume desire equals permission. That kills attraction instantly. But when you kiss the neck with awareness, when you pause, when you gauge her reaction, you create a moment she'll remember. She feels safe, she feels desired, and most importantly, she feels the tension of anticipation. The tension that makes her think about you long after the moment passes. Now let's move to the fourth place, the collarbone area. This is subtle, intimate, and often overlooked. Kissing this area is not about sexual intensity, it's about creating a deep emotional connection through sensitivity. The collarbone is one of those places that's both visible and delicate. A gentle kiss here communicates attention, presence, and care. And psychologically, it's different from lips or cheek. It signals, I notice details about you. I'm attuned to your body and comfort. I'm present in the moment, not just seeking my own gratification. That awareness, attention to detail combined with sensitivity, is rare. Most men rush to obvious high-stakes areas without building the trust and comfort needed. They mistake boldness for attraction. But what women respond to is thoughtful presence. The combination of intention and sensitivity. Now here's the key. Both the neck and collarbone work only if the first two areas, the forehead and cheek, have already established emotional safety. If you try to skip ahead, it creates tension, but not the good kind. It's uncomfortable, unbalanced, and pushes her away. But when you move naturally from comfort to intimacy, you guide her through a journey she wants to be part of. Let's break down how this feels from her perspective. First, you've established comfort with small, safe gestures. She feels calm. She feels seen. She feels understood. Then you transition, slowly, intentionally, to slightly more intimate spaces, the neck, the collarbone. Her mind and body respond in tandem. Her curiosity spikes. Her emotional connection grows, and every kiss becomes layered, comfort, intrigue, and desire all in one. Now let's talk about timing and energy. The physical move is only half the equation. The other half is your presence and responsiveness. If she leans in, you move with her. If she hesitates, you pause. If she smiles or laughs, you adjust. It's not about following a checklist. It's about reading her signals and aligning with her energy. That's where most men fail. They try to control the moment instead of being part of it. But when you're part of it, the kiss becomes a shared experience, and shared experiences stick. Now think about this. Women remember the moments that feel effortless and attuned. They don't remember the ones that feel forced, rushed, or mechanical. So the neck and collarbone are powerful, not because of where they are. They're powerful because of how you navigate them with awareness, timing, and emotional alignment. Now ask yourself honestly, do you focus more on the act itself or on how she feels during it? Because that difference determines whether she remembers the moment fondly or forgets it entirely. Now we arrive at the last two places, the final layers of a kiss that move it from intimacy into something unforgettable. The kind of moments that linger in her mind long after you part ways. The fifth place is the prow ears, specifically the earlobes. Many men underestimate this, or they approach it clumsily, thinking it's too bold or too sexual. But the psychology behind the ear is incredible. It's one of the most sensitive areas of the body, and a kiss here communicates intense awareness and personal attention, without needing to force anything. Here's what happens psychologically. When you kiss her earlobe or just behind the ear with subtlety and care, it triggers a heightened sense of attention. Her brain notices the sensation immediately, but more importantly, it notices your awareness. You're telling her without words, I'm paying attention to you. I'm present with you, and I notice details others don't. I'm attuned to your reactions. That combination, attention, presence, and respect for boundaries, creates an our emotional imprint. She can't easily forget. Now, the critical mistake most men make is rushing this area. They think a kiss on the ear is a shortcut to desire or attraction. But if she doesn't feel safe or the timing isn't right, it becomes overwhelming instead of magnetic. That's why mastery of these 6 places isn't about daring moves. It's about reading signals, pacing, and aligning with her comfort and energy. Now, the 6th and final place, our hands. Most men overlook hands completely, but a kiss on her hand is deceptively powerful. It's not overtly sexual, but psychologically, it signals respect, admiration, and intent. Here's why it works. A hand kiss engages subtle dominance and care at the same time. It shows confidence without pressure, attention without intrusion, and desire without haste. It communicates, I notice you, I respect you. I want to connect, but I'm not forcing anything. When done at the right moment, it hits a deep emotional chord. It's not flashy, it's memorable, because it contrasts with the common, rushed gestures most men default to. Think about it. Women are constantly approached with boldness, loud gestures, and predictable actions. A thoughtful, slow, intentional kiss on the hand stands out because it creates a pause in the ordinary flow. That pause gives her mind a moment to register the emotional impact. Now, imagine the full progression from the first kiss to the 6th. Forehead, comfort, trust, emotional safety. Cheek, warmth, playfulness, and subtle closeness. Neck, intimacy, desire, attention to vulnerability. Collarbone, sensitivity, attuned connection, emotional resonance. Ears, heightened attention, subtle intensity, emotional imprint. Hands, respect, admiration, intent, and unforgettable connection. When these moments are combined naturally, without forcing, without rushing, the effect is exponential, because attraction is not built on singular gestures. It's built on layered experiences that engage her mind, her heart, and her senses all at once. And the difference between a kiss she forgets and one she remembers? Your awareness, timing, and alignment with her signals. Most men focus only on technique or placement, but women remember how the moment felt, not just what happened physically. That feeling comes from emotional presence, attentiveness, and the subtle art of escalation, the slow, deliberate journey from comfort to intimacy. Here's the truth. You don't need bold moves or flashy tricks. You need psychological awareness. You need patience. You need the ability to read her energy and adjust in real time. That's what turns a simple kiss into a lasting memory. So, I want you to ask yourself honestly, do you focus on the physical act or the emotional journey that makes it unforgettable? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this guide shifted how you view intimacy, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who thinks kissing is just about technique instead of creating emotional connection. Because when you master this, you stop guessing what works and start creating moments she can't stop thinking about.